The USAF's jet fighter assassin, aka the Flying Pig. Is the F-111 Aardvark a sky warrior or the Air Force's failed weapon? The F-35 of its era, was the F-111 comparable? In a way, yes. Be kind to the unfortunate F-111, the real-life redheaded stepchild of the Western jet fighter bomber community. What's a name worth? In Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet, young Miss Capulet says to young Mr. Montague, but in the case of this warplane, the name seemed to attract some evil juju from the get-go. Hey guys, welcome to our channel Future Warplanes, where we tell you about military fighter jets, military drones, and military planes from the currently famous in the air to the most advanced around the world. So stay with us till the end of this video so you don't miss out on any of this information. And before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and click on the bell icon so you don't miss out on any of our amazing videos in the future. And let's begin! The Royal Australian Air Force, or RAAF, nicknamed the warbird the Pig, which shouldn't be taken as an insult. Pride, integrity, guts, to quote Vietnam War hero turned best-selling author and motivational speaker Lieutenant Cleve McClary. Instead of regal bird of prey moniker like Eagle or Fighting Falcon, the warbird was instead officially dubbed Aardvark. Speaking of damning with faint praise, journalist David X's Forbes story from February 2021 was titled, "The F-111 was the F-35 of its day, but its failure was a boon to U.S. air power." Was this aerial Aardvark actually a failure, or was it just misinterpreted? General Dynamics created the F-111 fighter, also referred to as the Aardvark, which is a medium-range, versatile tactical strike aircraft. The aircraft, formerly known as TFX, or Tactical Fighter X, was created in response to a combined service request from the U.S. Air Force and U.S. Navy in 1960 for a superior fighter. A number of variations were created for missions such as strategic bomber, electronic warfare, and reconnaissance. The F-111 aircraft made its maiden flight in December 1964, and the USAF began using them in combat in 1967. After producing 566 different versions of the F-111, production was put to an end in 1976. Up to 1998, the USAF used various F-111 iterations. Deliveries of the Australian F-111 version began in 1968. In 1973, the Royal Australian Air Force initially put the aircraft into service. Prior delays were brought on by challenges with structural integrity and politics. With 21 aircraft, the RAAF has been the only F-111 operator, but in December 2010, they will retire from employment. The Australian government made the decision to buy 24 FA-18F Super Hornets in 2007 to replace the RAAF's F-111 aircraft. The Tactical Fighter Experimental Program, which was started in the early 1960s, included the development of the F-111. The goal of the program was to create, enhance, and satisfy the demands for a long-range interceptor for the U.S. Navy and a supersonic strike aircraft tactical fighter bomber for the USAF. The huge long-range aircraft were built on swing-wing platforms. They were created with 2 seats and 2 engines. Both the U.S. Navy and U.S. Air Force aircraft versions had comparable designs and were capable of moving heavy warloads quickly. The interior bay was capable of holding bombs up to Mk-118, which is 1,400 kilograms, and Mk-117, which is 340 kilograms. A request for proposals was issued in 1961 to create an aircraft based on the TFX that was especially made for the Air Force. By the TFX contract in December 1962, General Dynamic designs were chosen above those of rivals like Lockheed Martin and Boeing. While Boeing designs lacked this commonality, the General Dynamics proposal shared structural elements with both the USAF and U.S. Navy aircraft variants. Due to the F-111's large, slightly crooked nose, it was given the nickname Aardvark. Variable geometry wings in titanium and aluminum are used to construct the F-111 in large quantities. A cockpit with side-by-side seating and an internal weapons bay are also features of the escape crew capsule. The aircraft can deliver munitions by penetrating enemy defenses at low altitudes and attacking in all-weather situations. The wingspan ranges from 16 degrees to 72.5 degrees in full forward and full sweep. The honeycomb sandwich and stiffened panels that make up the fuselage give it a semi-monocoque structure. 2 Pratt & Whitney TF-30 afterburning turbofan engines are used to power the F-111. There is terrain-following radar system on the F-111 versions. Northrop Grumman and General Dynamics worked together to design the aircraft's fuselage, landing gear, assembly, and test procedures. Initially, two F-111 types, the F-111A and F-111B, were created for the U.S. Navy and Air Force respectively. They shared the same structural airframe elements and utilized TF-30 P-1 turbofan engines for propulsion. The USAF F-111A was equipped with air-to-ground weapons, an AN APQ-110 terrain-following radar, and an AN APQ-113 assault radar. Of the 158 F-111As manufactured, 42 were converted into EF-111A Ravens, while the remaining aircraft were decommissioned by the Air Force in 1989 and put into storage at the Aerospace Maintenance and Regeneration Center. The F-111A and F-111B, two F-111 versions, were initially created for the Navy and Air Force. The F-111B has 1.07 meter longer wingtips and a 2.59 meter shorter nose than the original model. Elevator decks could be equipped by the carrier, and the design also increased the on-station endurance period. 6 AIM-54 Phoenix missiles, as well as an AN AWG-9 pulse Doppler radar, may be carried by the F-111B, but because of performance and weight concerns, the F-111B was rejected by the U.S. Navy. For sale to Australia, the F-111C variant was created with better wings and a landing gear. 24 aircraft were ordered by the RAAF in 1963. Despite the fact that the first aircraft was delivered in 1968, there were structural issues and development delays. 4 F-111C were upgraded to reconnaissance configuration in 1979 and 1980. Starting in 1994, the TF-30P-109 engines were upgraded for the F-111C and RF-111C, giving them each 39 kN of thrust. In 1998, the F-111C received digital avionics upgrades. The U.S. Air Force also received enhanced versions of the F-111D, F-111E, F-111F, and FB-111A. A revised intake geometry, powerful engines, Mark II avionics, and a glass cockpit were added to the F-111A to create the F-111D. A temporary variation, the F-111E, was created as a result of delays in the F-111D construction. It had triple plow 2 intakes, but the same Mark I avionics and TF-30P-3. The Tactical Air Command version of the F-111F used the Mark IIB avionics system. It used triple plow 2 intakes, a redesigned wing carry-through box, and TF-30P-100 turbofan engines with 112 kN afterburning thrust. After that, the engines were updated to TF-30P-109. About 43 of the 563 F-111s that were ever made are still flying today. One of these is a Desert Storm veteran that's on display at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base close to Dayton, Ohio, and is part of the National Museum of the United States Air Force. And that's it for today, guys. We sincerely hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please click on the like button and share it with your friends and family. If you have any questions or comments, share them with us in the comment space below. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel to see even more incredible videos. And as always, we'll remind you to press that bell icon. That way you're always notified of our latest uploads to our channel. Hey, thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll check in with you next time. Thanks for watching.